This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man?
What's up? What's up? What's happening, family? And we back. And we back just like that. Hey, the intro was fire, wasn't it? I've been waiting to play the intro all night long. I worked hard on the intro. And just in case y'all wondering, the smooth sounds are provided by Marquise Town. questbeats@gmail.com. Any of these beats I'm playing today, you like those beats, reach out to the homie at questbeats@gmail.com. And if you yourself are looking to get some of your beats put on air, get at me. Get at me. Get at me. Again, the smooth sounds y'all hearing right now, the brother does an amazing job, man. If you want your beats played, hit me up. $10 a track. M.O.I podcast@gmail.com. We're screaming your beats during the show. When I go live, Crom go live, we'll have your tracks playing during the show. Again, email the M.O.I podcast@gmail.com. If you're a beat maker, we need some tracks on this show. We need some music on this show. And of course, as you guys know, YouTube always tagging me or violating me for using the usage of other beats. So these beats are cleared. We have the permission of the owner to use these beats. Again, the sounds you hear throughout my show in the background, the good brother Marquise Towns did an amazing job. If you know him, give him a shout out. Shoot him an email at questbeats@gmail.com if you're an artist, or if you're just looking to get some tracks provided for you. If you're a singer, rapper, whatever you got going on in the music industry. Again, submit those beats, man. Submit those beats to the MOI podcast.com. I make sure to play your beats, put them on the air for you. And you know, Crom has a crazy reach, combined total of 250,000 followers, subscribers across all platforms. Your music will get heard, your sound will get heard. We just need beats, at least 2 minutes long. If you want to go longer than that, that's fine. But $10 a track. So when you submit your track via email, shoot me an email. I'll give you the form to fill out. Clear all permissions, submit your track, and we'll make sure your sounds are heard over here on Crom TV and screaming across all the other platforms. Now, an even bigger announcement before I get into the comments is I got a whole new setup, y'all. A whole new setup. I've been in the lab working my keister off. And because I've been in the lab working my keister off, I had a group of individuals in mind. And of course, it's my pen and paper gang, my disciples. So I got something for y'all. If you're interested in it, tap in. If not, you know, it's cool. But I want to share something with y'all that I'm about to launch. You guys are the first ones to hear about it. the first ones to know about it. It's the M.O.I. apparel. That's right. Apparel. Hoodies, hats, sweaters. Wintertime's coming. It's about to get cool. Let me share that link with y'all real quick. Link across the bottom of the screen. Or you can just, again, the best way to communicate sometimes for me is via email. Shoot me an email at the moipodcast@gmail.com if you're interested in the clothing. I'll send you the link. You can go up on the platform, choose whatever color you want, choose whatever size you want. That's a medallion over there on the end. That's a medallion on the end right here. Let me $14. Hit me up. Let me know. Pen and paper gang, I got y'all. Disciples, I got something in the works for y'all coming along the way as well. Do not worry. Don't sweat it. This hat's fly. It's fly. It says pen and paper gang on the shirt. On the hat. I got the hoodies. Again, whatever size you need, shoot me an email or go directly to, that's the email link. That's the link I'm going to send you to go directly to the platform to get your own size, your own hoodie. That to do with me. I'm just the creator of the brand. Again, it's pen and paper gang. Across the bottom, it says, if you don't believe me, do your research. M.O.I. That's something that I feel like I at least owe y'all that. Okay. I owe you something to put on your body so you can walk around. People are going to ask you, like, what is that? What is the pen and paper gang? Pen and paper gang, man. We're in the building, man. It's here. I'm excited about it, as you can tell. I think I have the actual logo. Give me a second. I'm going to show y'all the actual logo so you guys can see it. The actual logo. Pen and paper gang, don't believe me, research. M.O.I. There it is. There it is. That's the imagery that's on the shirt itself. And I got other stuff coming out too. Like I got mouse pads and pens and coffee mugs and, you know, all the other things that go along that you guys maybe want to have on your desk, the stickers, things of that nature. Again, man, I'm super excited about the clothing line just dropped. New collection. The regular sweaters, the hoodies. And I figured what better way to bless you all with something dope like this. You know what I'm saying? So again, shoot me an email at the moipodcast@gmail. And it's a whole swag, y'all. Y'all know, like I'm 42, right? I'm what they call an old head now. So as an old head, I can definitely rock. I already ordered mine. That's right. Like I paid myself to order my shit, right? So I already ordered mine already. And the hoodie and the hat, like that's giving me like 90s vibes. It's giving me hip hop vibes. And I love hip hop forever. It says the M.O.I. clothing line is a contemporary fashion brand that blends modern style with cultural heritage, offering unique, high-quality apparel for individuals who value self-expression and empowerment. I wrote that with y'all in mind, though. It's a contemporary fashion brand that blends modern style with cultural heritage, offering unique, high-quality apparel for individuals who value self-expression and empowerment. Do we not all value empowerment? And I'm not trying to like oversell the product. Like, the shit's dope. Like, this is a nice thick hoodie right here. All my northerners, it's about to get cold for y'all first. I'm in the South. It ain't quite got that cold down here yet, but it's getting there. How cool would you be with this hoodie on? Pen and paper gang. Just for y'all, man. Just for y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. That's what I do. Keep y'all in mind. And again, the sounds you're hearing right now, man, if you're interested in submitting beats, tracks, we'll host them on the site. We'll play them in the background for y'all. $10 a track. That's it. Invest in yourself. Over 250,000 people reach across the platform. And y'all gonna be hearing a lot more from me too on this platform, okay? So get ready. Get freaking ready. We in. All right. Let's go to the comments. While I'm in these comments, let me show the bro some love. Where we at? Let's go to the top. True King always in the building. True King always in the building. First in class too. Bro be the first one in class every single time. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for showing up to class on time. I appreciate you. Followed by his boy D Nice. D Nice always in the building. D Nice be showing me big love over on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, shame on you. I'm gonna pull it up for you right now. Pull up my TikTok. And I want y'all to go follow me on TikTok. I only got 3,000 followers over there though, so you know, that major. How the young kids say, just something slight, you know what I'm saying? Just something slight. Just something slight. I'm mad I gotta then pull it up. Hold on, y'all. Let me give y'all my TikTok. Boom, there it is. So this is my TikTok. And that beautiful young lady you see as my profile picture is my great-great-grandmother. And I put that picture up there because on TikTok, there's a lot of people thinking that we ain't the one. Like, we the one, not the two. We've been here for a long time. That beautiful young lady is my great-great-grandmother, full-blooded Yamacraw out of the Georgia territory. But look at how much material is on my TikTok. I mean, one day I'm just gonna go live and just go over my TikTok because I feel like I put a lot of shit on TikTok, and I'm just doing some light scrolling right quick. Of course, y'all know I'm tapped in with the indigenous inhabitants of North America. I don't prescribe to that out of Africa theory. I mean, how can I prescribe to the out of Africa theory when I already know people like Melvin Herkovich and people like what's his name, Franz Boas done manipulated the books. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to show y'all my TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, then shame on you. Look at that. It's still going. Still going. Still going. Indigenous people talk about the Slave Compensation Act, history on reparations, information on Noble Drew Ali and his mother. That's a whole lot of good stuff, man. So again, if you're over on TikTok, give me a follow at the Minister of Information on TikTok. I'm at 3,788 followers. By the end of this month, I will have 5,000 followers. Because, you know, TikTok won't let you access certain things without having a certain amount of people, which is crazy to me. But if you're not following on TikTok, please give me a follow over on TikTok. Back to the comments. Musicland HQ82. Peace and love, brother. Again, y'all, if you got some beats, man, you want to submit those beats, the sounds you hear in the background right now, Marquise Town in the building, man. questbeats@gmail.com. Give the brother a shout if you're a singer or artist. Keeper of the Dark, peace and light. We see you out there, brother. Roberto. Nah, I'm joking. What's up, Robert? What's up, brother? Peace and love. A new student. Class, say hello to the new student. Class, say hello to the new student. Rising Phoenix is a new student. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Be sure to share. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the network. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me. Follow Crum. Follow the movement. Welcome to class. Where are you from, Rising Phoenix? Let us know where you're from in the comment. Hiya! Bruce Leroy always in the building. What's up, brother? Peace and love. Amy McCoy. Amy, what's good, Amy? What's good? What's happening? Let's see if I can get Crom to come join me. Give me a second. Let's see if I can get the good brother Crom to come over and join. I just saw him a text. So Crom may be tapping in a little bit later. Patrick Fair, peace and love. What's up, brother? We see you out there, man. The Sassy Assassin, peace and love. We see you. Monique Hill, peace. Listen. Oh, Monique, I'm about to get on your head. I'm about to say this me in here. Crom not on here right now. He may join us a little bit later. When y'all be seeing notification, don't think always it's Crom dropping now. Crom is a busy fella. I told y'all can hear more and more from me. I know I said this before in the past, but I promise you, my dog, you're gonna be hearing more and more from me. Often, quite often. I ain't got nothing else to do. Every morning, if I get a chance, I'm tapping in with y'all ass. Tamara L, happy new day. I know that's right. Happy new day. Y'all heard Monique. Hit that like button, man. Share. Let's get these views up, man. We only hit 58 people. We usually hit like 80, 95 at this point. We only like 15 minutes in, but let's get the views up, man. Let's get the views up, family. All y'all in here are all the regular folks. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. This is another session with your guy, M.O.I. And today we're talking about the Doctrine of Discovery. I'm not sure how many of you all are familiar with the Doctrine of Discovery or what it's about. But today we're going to talk about it. And as per usual, as always, Queen, what's up? Queen, the force of healing, peace and love. Shout out to Ride of Phoenix. Come on in, relax, take your shoes. I know that's right. Tell them. And see, that's what I like about y'all, man. I was telling Crump the other day, that's why I rock with y'all, man. Because y'all understand decorum, how important decorum is, you know what I'm saying? How much it means to have decorum in this kind of setting. My disciples. So here's the tea, right? Crom has master students. I'm a master student. So I'm a part of this movement too. I have disciples. Disciples and master students are one and the same. Okay. I like to choose to call the followers and the subscribers in the movement that I got going on as my disciples. So that disciple apparel is coming soon also. So if you're a master student, by default, you're already a disciple. Don't think that one is different from the other. All right. Just like a disciple is one who learns directly from the master, directly from the teacher. That's a disciple. Just like a master student, one who has a mastery in being a student and learning and listening. So throughout my show, I'm going to ask certain questions and pose certain schools of thought. And I'm going to drop my disciple imagery. Now, before I show this imagery, y'all, don't go off the rail and think nothing crazy or nothing nothing crazy. Okay, I want to share with y'all my new imagery. This is not the apparel. This is just some shit I'm gonna drop on y'all when it's time. When I say well, all my disciples check in. I'm asking for all my disciples check in. This is what I'm gonna show y'all. Wow. Got your attention, didn't it? So all my disciples, man, check in. Tap in on the comments. Let me know you out there. What up? It's Truxton. And just happened to find out about you through Chrome TV. Hey, man, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Vaughn. Appreciate it, Vaughn. That is crazy. Yep, the USS Truxton. Wow. Vaughn, listen, I'm about to tell her that you tapped in. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Notebook and pen ready? Everybody ready? Everybody ready? All right, so listen, like I always do, I try to construct some type of outline for us to follow. And here's our outline. Doctrine of Discovery. I put the take over the Negro lands because that's primarily who land they took over. The background or origin to Doctrine of Discovery. In the late 1400s, European monarchs, particularly those in Spain and Portugal, were looking to expand their territory and economic influence. Keep that in mind. Economic influence is going to be one of the key factors and always have been economical, social, and political. Those are the three things: economical, social, and political. One more time: economical, political, and social. The Catholic Church, which played a major role in the European political and religious life, sought to provide moral and legal justification for these expansions, particularly under the leadership of Pope Nicholas V and his successors. Okay? So we have a location, we have a date, we have a name. And I think this becomes crucial to deciphering a lot of the misinformation and a lot of the misnomers, is for us to take a deeper dive and truly understand who was responsible and what happened. Now, this is prior to Columbus. This is prior to enslavement, as we were taught what's called the transatlantic slave trade. Oh, 1 second. Knock, knock. Who's there? Peace and light. Boy, I'm so glad you checked in. They in the comments. Crom, your crowd, your crowd. What up, master students? Do not play about Crom, boy. They be on it, bro.
Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Man, all is well. All is well, man. All is well. Hey, you go, everybody. He's in the building. He's in the building.
Shout out to the disciples. I see y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
There's a question for you.
Oh, it says, yo, Crumb, when we gonna build on Hollow Earth, family? Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't really know too much about Hollow Earth.
That's not true.
I mean, you know, the
minister does this all the time, family. One time the minister said, I don't know something about something, and he went on for 3 hours and talked about it. Yeah, fine. You don't know nothing about it. Got you. Yeah, Hollow Earth. It not to get off topic because I know we're going somewhere. Your boy talked about Hollow Earth a lot.
Who that?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know Yaqub family from Hollow Earth.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Family. Disciples only. Disciples only. If you remember, and he hasn't talked about it in a while. I'm talking about the minister. Press 000 if you remember the minister. Back in the day, he's talked about it a lot. Y'all guys live on the earth. There are a lot of people who live in the earth.
Got it.
The minister has said that many a times.
Got it. You're right. I totally forgot about that whole lecture. So that now that's what I don't know too much about. I'm familiar with the story, but I think you did a PowerPoint on Yaqub, and I just never really got into the story of Yaqub, the big head scientist, or what they call the mad scientist. But there was an illustration of something over on YouTube where they kind of showed like the cartoon depictions of the whole entire story. So maybe we can take a quick dive into it and go slightly over, because I'm really rusty on the whole story, to be honest with you. I'm more familiar with the fact that Admiral Byrd said that he actually flew inside the earth. I'm more familiar with that than the story of Yakub. Oh, it is 9/11. It is 9/11. I forgot about that. Happy 9/11.
Happy 9/11.
Even though I haven't seen that one funeral, but okay. Have anybody seen any funerals or any? I haven't seen anything from the 9/11. I've seen more things against it than for it here as of recent last 3-4 years. But anywho, yeah, bro, you can take a dive into it. I mean, I only got in here today because I just wanted to bring people up to speed before I go live on Sunday. But it says the hollow earth is a concept proposing that the planet is entirely hollow or contains a substantial interior space. Notable suggested by Edmund Halley in the late 17th century, the notion was disproven first tentatively by Pierre, whatever his name is, 1740, then definitively by Charles Hutton in his Schindler's experiment, Schindler experiment around 1774. I'm wondering what type of equipment they had back in the 1700s to do any kind of excavating or digging, because we just got the drill, I think, in like 1996. The drill to go all the way, they went like maybe 18, 20 miles, and they had to stop because they hit something that was solid. They couldn't drill through it. Some type of mantle. They say it's the mantle or the hard interior of the earth. I'm not sure. It was still occasionally defended through the mid-19th century, notably by John Cleveland Symes Jr. and J.N. Reynolds. But by this time, it was part of a popular pseudoscience and no longer a scientifical valuable hypothesis. So they just stopped. They said, fuck it. The concept of the hollow earth still recurs in folklore and as a premise of subterranean fictional and subgeneral adventure fiction. Hollow earth also reoccurs conspiracy theories such as the underground kingdom of Agarthia and the crypto-terrestrial hypothesis, and it's often said to be inhabited by mythological figures or political leaders.
May I share screen?
Please.
So if you go back, because the minister just showed a map, go back to the movie Doctor
Strange.
Yeah. In the movie Doctor Strange, the black guy passes him a piece of paper that says Shambhala. The name Shambhala was on the map that the minister just showed you. Doctor Strange said, "What is this? Some type of whatever?" He says,
"Type of mantra." This is my mantra.
It's the Wi-Fi password. And everybody's, it's like the laughing thing. But if you go back to the ancestors, because everybody says, oh yeah, we the Native Americans. I've never debated that. I've never disagreed with that. But I find it funny how y'all say that, not you, the minister, or nobody in the listening audience. But I find it funny how these people say that they're the Native Americans, but they don't know what their ancestors said. The Hopi Indians, it was the Hopi who said this. The Hopi said, our ancestors lived inside the earth. So then there was this dude who went and talked to the Hopi to say, tell me more about your ancestors that live inside the earth. And that dude, because they don't document the ancestors, they're going to document the Tamahu Flugelrod and the homunculus or whatever. January 29th, 1934, lizard people catacombs city hunted. Who are the lizard people of Los Angeles? Legend of underground people who live inside the earth. Lizard people. Throwback Thursday. Did lizard people live under the city of Los Angeles? Oh boy, who was some type of engineer. And these are the ancestors right there. They had to go and talk to the ancestors. Because the ancestors told you thousands of years before you had any type of engineering, whatever, that these people were living underneath the earth, and it was underneath the city of Los Angeles. And here's the map that old boy made.
What the hell?
Lizard people's catacomb city hunted. This is back in the 1930s, 1920s. They said it's people living underneath the city of Los Angeles. In addition to that, those same people, there's a corridor, there's a connection between Los
Colorado.
Angeles. I'm sorry.
That's Colorado, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
There's a corridor that connects Los Angeles to Denver, Colorado. Go to the Denver, Colorado airport. They have a statue of a blue horse called not Lucifer, Blue-cifer. And the Denver, Colorado airport Masonic statue. It's not a statue, it's a plaque. This is inside of the Denver International Airport, which, you know, I'm not one to have this fear mongering of the Masons, because today is 9/11. What is this Friday, family? Somebody in the comments tell me what this Friday is. Today is 9/11. What's Friday?
Oh, shut the front door.
Come on, somebody. Today is 9/11. Friday is the 13th. Y'all been doing this since the 1300s. This whole Friday the 13th, we're scared of the Masons. Y'all gonna get over this. So I'm not gonna add to the Masons fear mongering that started on Friday the 13th in the 1300s. I'm not adding on to that. But a part of the mysticism with the international airport is this particular plaque that's over there. Now, the thing about that international airport, and those people at the airport, they play to that. Denver, Colorado airport reptilian, because they're reptilians living underneath the earth. This is inside the airport. Apologies for the noise. Reptilians are underneath the airport doing construction. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it's not, you're playing to people's fears.
Now, why would they put that up there?
Exactly. This is in the Denver it says DEN, Denver International Airport. What are we doing? Doing amazing new restaurants and blah blah blah. They're playing to the reptilian thing. Now, why is this in the Denver International Airport? How many floors underneath the Denver National Airport are there? When they first created the Denver National Airport, an investigation into the underground tunnels of the Denver International Airport. The same thing that you saw in California with the people underneath the stairs. I'm being funny. That was a movie. With that movie scared me when I was a kid. But the same thing you saw with these catacombs of lizard people who lived underneath the earth, the Hopi told you about them. They told you about them in California in the 1930s, and they're currently telling you about it in Denver, Colorado. This whole thing, and this is the thing. We've already done 000. Press 111 if the minister has told you so many times about the gods in the mountains. Family, if you are a disciple, you've been following the minister, then you know he's told you on a cornucopia, a plethora, a myriad of times about these gods in these mountains. So now, if you go and look not on the mountain, inside the mountain, the tunnel inside mountain military. Because there's this I don't think it might be, but they're blocking it. That's it. Cheyenne with I can take you to a mansion way out in Wisconsin. I'm joking when I say Wisconsin, but Cheyenne Mountain Complex. The military. This is how you get into inner earth. They have a tunnel and it's guarded by the military. Look at the fences. The fences got barbed wire. They typically have people guarding it. That one boy who had to go to Russia to seek asylum.
Who's that?
Somebody in the listening audience. It was the one boy who had to go to Russia to seek to seek asylum. They made a movie about him, and he snitched on America that they're spying on people. Somebody in the listening audience, tell me what his name is. That one boy, they made a movie, Snowden.
Yeah.
Snowden was in Inner Earth, and in his movie, They had his ass in inner Earth. You had to go through all
That's
of these
crazy.
whatevers. So, with that said, this whole inner Earth thing, they call it dumb. You can't make this up. They call it dumb. Deep underground military base.
Mm.
Let me go to images, see what I can pull up. Deep underground military base. Let me just type it in. Deep underground military base. There we go. Cheyenne Complex. And this is over there by the Grand Canyon. They will not let you into the Grand Canyon. Why won't they let us into the Grand Canyon? Because there are core. I'm sorry, please.
Hold on. All right. Now, hold on for a second. Let's examine this mountain, because you fucking me up right now, bro. There's a movie or a TV series. I want you to continue though. I'm gonna search for this TV series and I'm gonna pull it up. It's the same exact shit. I promise you, it's mind blowing. Continue though. I just want you to continue, because this is fucking me up.
The minister has made not made videos, but in many different videos, the minister has told you guys there's a correlation between these mountains and these gods. They have this weird obsession with these mountains. So now if you go to the Grand Canyon, you're going to see where certain parts of the Grand Canyon, they won't let you inside because there's a corridor in there, an opening in there, to where you're going to find America is older than Egypt. I've got no problem with Africa. I love Africa. Shout out to Africa. There are brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, all of that. But if you go to that Grand Canyon, it's gonna provide some evidence that whatever's in Africa came second. Whatever's in Africa, no, I'm not debating nobody on Africa. The whole planet is ours. But that Grand Canyon, inside those mountains, inside that inner Earth, is evidence that we were here before they created all that stuff over there. Excuse me. And this all alludes to Hollow Earth. I yield the floor.
Damn. I was trying to find the TV episode, but it's called The 100. If you've never seen it before, it's basically, let me see if I can find the trailer, and I'm gonna encourage you guys to go check it out. I'm gonna bump the trailer real quick. So anyway, in The 100, these individuals, Earth is covered by some radiation war outbreak that they had at one point. And a lot of people stayed on Earth. They were called the grounders. And with the grounders went inside this mountain, the same complex you just showed. I can't find the scene in the movie, but man, it's the exact same thing. And they were inside that mountain for like 20 something fucking years living. I mean, like 2 generations were born inside the mountain, to the point where they have never gone outside their entire life in fear of radiation poison. So if you have not seen this film, it's not even a film, it's actually a series. It's called The 100. Wow. That's the space station everybody lives on now. Everybody lives in the space station. Like, it's a whole community in space. These little badass YT kids still a damn shuttle. A couple of them got kicked off of it and got sent back down to Earth. Now, they're terrified to be on Earth because of all the stories of radiation and burning. And so, but it's been over, like, I don't know, some amount, 50, 60 years to where, look at that shit. Things have mutated, things have changed, things have happened. and they're living inside these mountains, bro. So it's something I want to show y'all, man. Like definitely check it out. It's worth taking a look at. Along with what Admiral Byrd had already said about Hollow Earth, I think it's some meat on the bone with that shit, personally.
And let me take a moment to call out the minister who claims he's fuzzy on this. The minister did a video. It did very well about Godzilla and King Kong, where he went into depth. It was a very good video. I'm very tempted to go look it up. And the minister went in on Hollow Earth. I think it was called. We did a video called King Kong versus Godzilla or something like that. And he spoke very in depth about it then as well. I'm just not remembering.
That had to be a little while ago. I mean, you guys got to realize I'm young, so I tend to forget more. So this is Admiral Byrd's rendition of Hollow Earth, and there's actually a interview, but he basically said Hollow Earth starts at the top, what we call the North Pole. There's a huge hole, gaping hole, at the center of the top of the Earth. And that's another entry to another section of inside the Earth. And the individuals who live inside the Earth are called terrestrious. You're called terrestrial because you're on top of the Earth. Anything outside of the bounds of where we live are called extraterrestrials. The word terrestrial just means land, dirt, earth, soil, etc., etc. But between Admiral Byrd, between the Nation of Islam tales of what's his name? Yaqub. There might be some validity to it, bro. I've never heard anybody disprove it. There's more proof pointing to it than pointing away from it, in my personal opinion. And I'm not sure who asked that question, but that's the short answer. That's the short answer. You're absolutely correct. Now my memory is getting unfogged a little bit. We have to remember that Godzilla is the god of the Zillas. Zadzil. That's it right here?
This video is 3 years old.
Wow.
This is the minister, all day family. He did this 3 years ago. So yeah, it has been some time, but I just want to confirm the minister Ben went into this. Let me see. Where can I find? There he is. There he is. The minister Ben went into it. Let me take this off. And in this video, he spazzed in this video. To whom it may concern.
Crazy.
Yeah.
See, I don't really recall, family, what I said, because I've been talking this shit for years at this point, and it's like, all right, you know. I don't even know where to start. But I believe I kind of went over the fact that if I recall right, Godzilla was like a worm at some point. Well, he is a worm.
Come on.
I talked about the worms. I talked about it again, I believe, when I dealt with Black Panther 2, when I was talking about Cuckoo Khan.
Come on.
I think I was dealing with the wormholes at that point. I believe so. If I can recall.
I would encourage the audience, as usual. It's really hard to find a minister on an off day, but he was in rare form in this particular video. He went all the way in. So if you want to check that out, I would definitely encourage you to do so. Very interesting, fun, and enlightening video. I yield the floor.
Damn, boy. Okay. You got me. Crom always got the goddamn receipts, man. Always got the receipts. So we're about 100 people right now. Again, listen to the sounds of Marquise Town, questbeats@gmail.com. Shouts to the brother. If you are looking to share your beautiful music, you just need beats, no more than 2 or 3 minutes long. Shoot me an email at moipodcast.com. We are hosting you all $10 a track. We're screaming your beats throughout the show. When I go live, Crom goes live, we'll scream your beats in the background. Not the entirety of the show, but we'll show you some love and also shout you out. And because we are at a hundo people, real quick, Crumb, if you don't mind, check out the apparel. Check out the apparel. Penandpaper.com. I'm gonna order Crumb one just on GP. Pen and paper game. Don't believe in your own research. Hoodies, hats, sweaters. Again, it's going to be at the M.O.I. podcast. MOI podcast gmail.com. Shoot me an email if you're interested in the apparel. I'll send you the link. The link will go live on my YouTube page a little bit later today. So if you're over there, be sure to check out the apparel. Stickers, signage, and everything else will also be available. Go right to the platform and get it. Support. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. Appreciate that. Definitely get them beats in there though, because we Crom be on my ass and YouTube be on my ass about that sound. I mean, it'd be a dope ass live. They'd be like, oh nope, damn.
My frustration is YouTube can be very misleading. They're going to tell you the beats are copyright free, is license free. Yeah. And then they'll hammer you. And the ministers, I said, listen, I totally understand. So, and we have so much talent in the room. Why don't we crowdsource? So I'm so glad the minister right now is tapping into the power of the family. So $10, that's a nominal fee. That's
an investment, because you got to think like your reach is crazy, and the platform on YouTube's almost at 50,000 subscribers. That's a big deal. You got to get a plaque in a second, and once YouTube issues Brother Crumb that plaque, the price gonna go up, because now you got to compete with Ford and Tesla ads. At this point, like, we're trying to get you guys heard. And I'm gonna go into my Donald Trump voice in front of millions and millions. They love saying millions, don't they? Millions and millions. How many millions, Donald Trump? Millions. But we're trying to get you guys heard, man. So definitely, this is a call to action. This is a call to action to submit your beats. If you're a beat maker, whoever said they got tons of beats, shoot them over to the Gmail. I'll shoot you a form. You fill the form out. And we'll go from there. And of course, your music will be listed over on the Crumb TV platform network. So yeah, there's that. Appreciate you. So what I was dealing with today, Egyptian deity, thank you so much. Appreciate you. What I was dealing with on today, broski, was the Doctrine of Discovery. And every time I come across this, brother Taj Tariq Bey, shouts out to Taj Tariq Bey, man. Brother Taj Tariq Bey said, I always hear his voice in my head when I talk about this part of history for some reason, because the brother's real thorough on this part of history. But I think it's key, like it is the key to understanding how did we lose all this land. I mean, millions upon millions of acres of land from North, Central, South America. And I won't go too much into depth on that part, but I don't think people understand what the hell happened or how important this is. Like this is the big brother for the Manifest Destiny. This is the great granddaddy of Indian Removal Act. This is the great auntie of hedge rights. If you don't know what hedge rights is, you don't know what the Indian Removal Act is, and the other things I just said, then you are already behind. But the Doctrine of Discovery gave access to the church. This was done under Christendom. And I've always told y'all before, Louisiana Purchase. Now, let's talk about this for a second. And this afternoon class, y'all, is real liberal. Feel free to chime in. We'll answer questions. This ain't, it has a little decorum to it, but I want to be more interactive. We won't be on here long, maybe like an hour and a half this afternoon. But just real open dialogue. I want you guys to talk and conversate with us back and forth. Same thing with you, brother. You want to share some stuff and got something to add to it. If we change gears, pivot anywhere, it doesn't matter. This is just a good time for us to talk and have a conversation. The Louisiana Purchase now was something that was sold to France. France occupied Louisiana. I'm sorry, Spain. I'm lying. Spain had Louisiana. Spain had Florida. Spain had Georgia. Spain had Alabama. Spain had all that. Then Spain sold it to France, and then France sold it back. But this was done prior to after what was called the Treaty of Paris. And it says the Treaty of Paris, but it happened right here in North America. Let me show you real quick. The Treaty of Paris. What did it do? This treaty signed on September 3rd, 1783, between the American colonies and Great Britain, ended the American Revolution and formally recognized the United States as an independent nation. That's one thing it did. Treaty of Paris of 1763 ended the French and Indian War, which is called the 7-Year War or the 100-Year Indian War, between Great Britain, France, as well as their respective allies. In terms of the treaty, France gave up all its territories in the mainland in North America, effectively ending any foreign military threat to Britain, British colonies there. So that's when the colonies decided to go a little bit further west at that point. That's dealing with the Louisiana Purchase as well. And I think the sister, what the sister name we interviewed? Oh, I forget her name every time. She was like the empress or something for the Ouachita Nation down in Poverty Point, and she was talking about you actually did a nice edit. If you can pull it up or not, but you did a nice edit where she had said how much land it was for Louisiana Purchase. She said something ridiculous, like over 4 million square miles of land, and she's like, put a figure to that, like damn, like it's a lot of land. From Poverty Point all the way up to Illinois, like the entire river, Mississippi River, and that entire river, the Ohio River Valley, all that territory belongs to a group of individuals known as the Oshitush, but in French dialect, they're called the Wichita. That's on French dialect. She also covered that as well. But part of the reason what gave rise to all that stuff, man, was the Doctrine of Discovery, formerly known. You got it. There it is, right here. Let's check this out real quick.
Oh, let me share it with the audio. My apologies. Audio. Here we go. Ah, you jerk. I'll be watching.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Straining at a gnat and swallowing a whole camel. I'm going to ask you something, and then we'll get into the bastard state, okay?
Yes,
Your group of people, that's where everything is wrong. It's for the people. It's for the ancient people. And it's for the ancient people's generations. But it will never get to the ancient people and their generations in the direction that we're going right now. I don't believe that Noble Drew Ali, being a Ouachita and being a relative of mine, very close relative, I just don't believe that he would have given the family inheritance away to another group of people.
I participated in the Moorish Science Temple of America movement around 2017, 2018, I believe it was. And I'm a founding member of Temple number 14 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And when I got into the Moorish science, Noble Drew Ali was propagated as a prophet, unlike to Moses or any of the great prophets of the Old Testament. That's how Noble Drew Ali was propagated to us. And Noble Drew Ali left all of us Moors, the faithful Moors, the vast estate, some type of great inheritance to where we can lay for meaning Moors of a Moorish mindset, that we can proclaim this territory known as North America, aka Turtle Island, or Al Morocco, El Maghrib. We had a claim to this land, and that's my understanding what Noble Drew Ali left behind for us. Is that something different that we should know?
The Ouachita are Moors, M-U-U-R-S. The Moors, the M-O-O-R-S that you're talking about, are not even from this continent.
Oh,
I got a problem with that. Their inhabitants, is that Maghreb, Iberian Peninsula?
Al Maghrib.
Yeah, Sicily and Malta. That's where they were during the Middle Ages. But I'm talking about the Ouachita, the first people who came over from the continent of Mu, the oldest people on earth. This is how the United Nations is able to bestow upon the Ouachita de Gagamonia as the oldest indigenous people on earth. See, you can't establish this over here if you don't have facts behind it. The other truth is Poverty Point, right there in Northeast Louisiana, my little hometown.
I know that some parts of Louisiana and Mississippi were considered to be great deltas of the mound builders. So could you speak to us about Poverty Point?
Yeah, but that's where you are, right there in the Delta, and that's Poverty Point. These people, well, if you go there right now, a beautiful place, on a tour, they will tell you they do not know about the people of Poverty Point. We know nothing much about them. You know, they just showed up all of these thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, and we just do not know what happened to them. But you do, because they're still there in Monroe, Louisiana. Their descendants are there. This is part of you not knowing your nation. And if you don't know your nation, you tend to make faulty decisions concerning it. If you don't know that you have a nation, you can be told anything. And this is what others have taken advantage of. They waited until Bertie C. Goldston and myself and Nathan Jones reclamated it, did all the research all those years, and then you come forth and saying it's yours. How come you didn't get a United Nations number? Why did you have to wait right up under what the three of us did? And they were one of the reasons why I more or less pushed back on Bertie C. during that time before they came around and started expounding upon documents. I knew something was wrong then.
What relation are these ancient Moors? Are they in relation to the people of the Arawak or raccoon people?
Yeah.
That's what the word comes from, raccoon people.
How can Poverty Point be designated as the oldest archaeological site in the northern hemisphere of the world? Because it is the place where the oldest people are. And again, we're talking about Washita.
Could you speak to me about the Yamasee or the Yamansi?
Okay.
Are they in relation to the Washita?
Yes. And let me tell you something. Coming from the continent of Mu, and I wish you would pull that up.
Please.
You know, I was trying to pull up some things myself.
Hold on. Pause for a second.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
She killed it, bro. She was killing it.
She did.
She was going in. But please continue, because this goes in to the whole joint anyway. Please continue.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to deal with it.
You see, move right there on the left. And look what the little dotted lines they got up under that Negro migration pattern. In other words, we left move and marched all together now, directly over into what? Africa. Okay, I find something wrong with that. Because where I'm from, me being Washita, where I'm from, in little old Northeast Louisiana, the world has said, you all are older than Africa. Come on, let's put these facts in line here. How are we older than Africa? When your false map here, you're showing you marched directly across and you went across South America and you ended up in Africa. You're lying. You're lying. Because the oldest archaeological site is up there in Northeast Louisiana. And these are the people that came from Mu. The Empress said her family, now get a hold on that right there. A lot of them went south and went over east. Now you have South America. That's the Mayans. That's the Aztecs. That's Olmecs. That's all of that. But you can't get around this little place that's older than Africa. Egypt is in Africa. In other words, before Ramses became a fetus in his mother's womb, Washitans were over in Poverty Point, and I like to think sitting out in the yard barbecuing.
I'm so glad that Sister Bell brought this point up, because I subscribe to the fact that we're not from Africa. And people argue that we are from Africa. That's just genetically we're all from Earth. So you don't have to give praise to one patch of land, pile of dirt called Africa. Africa came up out the water. Everything came up out the water. That's why there's more water than land, because this is a water planet, and the land came up out the water. Nothing but here was water. So you have to deal with places like Atlantis and Lemuria and Mu. You have to deal with these ancient places. But see, these ancient places being mentioned, they take Caucasian people off the radar. Caucasians don't like to talk about that time period because they didn't exist back then. Nowhere on the planet. They don't come into existence until you get to what's called the Paleolithic period. We've built kingdoms and kingdoms on top of kingdoms by then. So Mu is so older that you don't hear it mentioned in classical history. It's not mentioned. But you have to subscribe to get this visual, bro. I'm telling you. The visual brings another life form to it's another element to it. Listening to it is great too, because I think I got a great speaking voice. So just to speak, it's a speak easy. It's a speak easy, but you want to watch the theatrics though. But either way it goes, man. M.O.I podcast. Again, follow me on Instagram at Minister Informing. I'm looking for you guys to tap in, man. I appreciate you guys for listening. Peace and love.
Mandinka. What food stuff that you talking about? That's African. I ain't no African.
Well, I'm Mandinka. We're proud people.
And I'm American. I was born here. My mammy and my daddy was born here. And my daddy's daddy. And I ain't no African.
Come on, man. Did Sister Bell kill it, or did she kill it? She rocked the streets with that one, boy. And this is not for controversy, okay? Over on Chrome TV, we don't condone hate. This is a safe space. But we will stand on truth, okay? Truth never fade nor pass away. So I remember that now, and I remember a few Moors took issue with that live. And this is after I had read Dr. Eileen Bay. Shouts to Dr. Eileen Bay, by the way. Big shouts to Dr. Eileen Bay in the building, the master student. Master student, master teacher, Dr. Eileen Bay. But I came across Dr. Eileen Bay's doctrine, and something I read blew my mind. Timothy Drew, who we formerly know as Prophet Noble Jew Ali, wa alayhi salam, which is Arabic for peace be upon him. I found some information on him that blew my mind that coincided with what Sister Bell said. He was born in North Carolina. And let me go back. I promise y'all, this all has to do with the Doctrine of Discovery, because this is what Temple Moors base their attitude towards the United States and said government based on this Doctrine of Discovery, saying that the Doctrine of Discovery was when the Christian empire, the Christian kingdom came in and toppled the Islamic, what was called Mohammedan or Mohammedanism kingdom of the Moorish Empire. And this was part of the Moorish Empire, or a part of Al-Maghrib, Al-Morocco. So this all coincides. It's called the vast estate, right? So when she said that Noble Drew Ali was a Wichita, I said, he was a Wichita? Because I don't recall. Now, Moors in the comments, the L's and the Bays and the Ali's, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I don't recall nowhere in the temple reading or the Circle 7 Quran reading that Noble Drew Ali was a part of any indigenous American tribe. Like, we don't even talk about indigenous American tribes in the temple. We talk about being part of the Moabites, who are the children, descendants of Yaku. I'm sorry, not Yaku. What's his name? Moab, who is the son of, what's his name? Abraham nephew, Lot. Right. So these are descendants of Abraham by way of Lot, his nephew. I never got told. I never even thought to ask, what local tribe are we from here in North America? I never thought to ask that question. But upon further reading about Noble Drew Ali, and this is with all due respect, this is not no disrespect to the prophet. This is just information. It says several details of Drew Ali's life were uncertain, as true information became mixed with that of legend devout followers. He is believed to have been born Timothy Drew on January 8th, 1886 in North Carolina. Sources differ as his background upbringing report that he was an orphan son of two former slaves born in the Cherokee tribe, while another describes him as the son of John A. Quitman, John A. Drew Quitman, a military and political leader of the Cherokee Cohery Nation, and Eliza Turner Quitman, a full-blooded Washita tunic mother. That's just what I saw in the reading. So I only bring this up because this corroborates what Sister Bell had said about Noble Drew Ali being akin to her. And she couldn't believe that he would go start an organization and talk about giving away the vast estate that really belongs to the people of Poverty Point, the most ancient people. So that makes part of what Noble Drew Ali was talking about very true, the vast estate. However, how did it correlates to the Moors of Mauritania and the Moors of Spain? Well, that's something to be discussed. I don't know how it got way over there. But what I do know is the topic of the day does have everything to do with parts of that story of dealing with the vast estate for the Moorish Empire, the Moorish Science Temple of America, what they teach in their doctrines, and for the indigenous folks of North America who talk about them being Cherokee, Blackfoot, Creek, Crow, Sioux, so on and so forth. How did the lands get taken? How did the empire fall? How did the vast state get lost? Right? And most of the times, we talk about, they talk about maritime operation, maritime law, proper persona, and all these legal terms, these legalese terms. Well, this is a legal doctrine. This is a legal binding doctrine that was issued by the church. The Doctrine of Discovery is a legal. We can stop right there. It's illegal. You ain't going no further. Now, what jurisdiction, what makes it legal, and so on and so forth? It was issued by an authority that was hired in the indigenous people, supposedly. The Doctrine of Discovery is a legal and religious concept that was used to justify the colonization of non-European lands by European nations. The doctrines were based on the idea that European culture, religion, and people were superior to others. It was set out in a series of papal bulls or decrees beginning in the 15th century. Now, those papal bulls and decrees, you have what's called Dum Versi in 1452. The Romanist Pontifex in 1455, Inter Caetera, 1493. Dum Versi was issued by Pope Nicholas V. This bull, now we're not talking about animals, family. We're talking about ecclesiastical decrees. Ecclesiastical decrees, meaning something the Pope put out. Like the Pope has the highest authority. We already talked about that already. Who the Pope represents. The Pope represents Christ in flesh. If you don't know that, then please go look that up. The Pope is the Vica, V-I-C-A, which is Latin for in person. The Pope is Christ in person. He represents Christ. He stands in the place of Christ. So all you black Christians, Jesus is not in the sky. He's over there in the Vatican. He's over there in Italy, according to what they believe in. Issued by Pope Nicholas V, this bull gave the Portuguese king the right to enslave Muslim pagans and other non-Christians. It justified wars against non-Christian people and considered a what's that? I can't see. It's too small.
Precursor,
Dick. Precursor. It's fuzzy. A precursor to the latter Doctrine of Discovery. So Dum Versi was the first thing. Write that down. Write that down. Pen and paper gang. Please take notes. It says the Romanist Pontifex, and if you guys are followers of Todd Tariq Bey, he's always talking about this. He's always talking about the Pontifex. He's always talking about the fall of what's the area, bro? Tripoli. And the fall of Montezuma. That's not a place. That's a chief. He's the last Mesoamerica kingdom that was toppled by Cortez and the rest of the conquistadors. Chief Montezuma over to the shores of Tripoli, which are located in the Mediterranean. And I said time and time again, that's the Marine Corps anthem. From the shores of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Your little black ass Marines just singing it, not knowing that your ancestors we killed. We don't kill all your ancestors. We don't topple your ancestors. We don't took over the kingdom. You just marching and singing from the shores of Montezuma. You had no idea who Montezuma is. They kidnapped Montezuma and took his ass to Europe and killed him. They took Chief Tamachichi of the Georgia colony to Europe. They took what's his name? King Philip, or his name wasn't Philip for real. The king of the Wampanoag. They took him over there too. So the kingdom was slowly being relinquished and being toppled. The Inter Caetera convened in 1493. How convenient that is after 1492. This is the most notable papal bull directly linking the Doctrine of Discovery issued by Pope Alexander VI. It granted Spain the right to claim lands discovered by Columbus, and it furthered explorers in the New World, provided those lands were not already under control of Christian rule. Thank you. From the halls of Montezuma. Thank you for that correction. You're right. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. You're right. Thank you for that correction. The Christian imperialism, the doctrine itself was grounded in belief that the Christian monarchs, that's king and queen, had the divine right to claim lands and dominate non-Christian people. The idea was the European Christians had God-given mandate to spread Christianity and civilize the indigenous population of the Americas and Africa and other parts of the world. The legal framework, the Doctrine of Discovery, established a legal and moral justification for colonization. It declared that any land not inhabited by Christians could be claimed by European Christian rulers. Indigenous people were seen as subjects who could either convert to Christianity or be subdued through force. That's exactly what the fuck that was, y'all. The doctrine itself laid the foundation for European colonialism in America, Africa, and parts of Asia. It justified seizures of land, subjugations of Negroes, because you were called Negroes later. You weren't called Indigenous. Of course, now the Indigenous represents what you are, but the who you are got switched. 1790 was the first census in America. 1790 also was the first time that Europeans were naturalized to this land. It was called the Naturalization Act, which made them naturalized. You are nationalized. They became naturalized. So they became to call themselves Americans. The real Al-Moroccans were you the whole time, your empire. It established of colonial empires. The concept enshrined in the doctrine was used to rationalize the transatlantic slave trade, the displacement of genocide of indigenous population, and the exploitation of non-European resources. The doctrine had lasting legal consequences. In the United States, for example, the Supreme Court case Johnson versus McIntosh, 1823, upheld the principles of the Doctrine of Discovery, stating that indigenous people had only rights to occupy, but not ownership of their land. This ruling cemented the legal framework for land seizures and dispositions of Native American tribes. That was 1823. Nobody has ever challenged it. Thurgood Marshall, black ass, didn't challenge it. God rest in peace. Judge Joe Brown hadn't challenged it. What the black dude name who got OJ off? He didn't challenge it. Nobody of consequences has ever challenged the fact, like, wait a minute. This little ragged ass piece of paper from 1493 still holds true. Yeah. Hold on. We got somebody in comments. I love it. Doctrine of Discovery is all a fraud. I never signed anything. They don't have real jurisdiction over here. I said that ninja was what? I never said that ninja was God either. That's all I was waiting on. Thank you so much, Sassy Assassin, because unfortunately for you, my sassy friend, they own it. They outright own it. Let me tell you how they own it. Watch this. Abandoned land. Land abandonment occurs when a particular land uses seizes. And there is no clearly defined subsequent land use practice. It is often associated with poorly defined ownership in or land use governance, land degradation, and restoration assessment. So the land was cleared abandoned land. It was abandoned land. How can it be abandoned land when people are already over here? That's your next question. Go ahead, bro.
This is why in the incorporated land in cities and what have you, municipalities, counties, blah, 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 the law is you have to cut the grass. Why is it so important inside the cities, inside the incorporated lands, that you have to cut the grass? Because if it looks abandoned, You got to keep your grass cut. You got to keep this the land maintained so it doesn't appear abandoned.
That's fact. That's fact. So what ended up happening was this, right? Once the land became abandoned, you had corporations begin to form. These corporations over in London that formed became joint stock companies. And these joint stock companies, under that same mandate, under the monarch, King James said, y'all go over there and snatch up this part of the territory in 1606. These are the photos we start to see. These are the stories we start to hear about places like Virginia and what else? Massachusetts and those other territories. Now in school they taught you that this was just the Indians, you know, and it was Thanksgiving, and these pilgrims just came over here. You never asked why they came over here. You never even like why they over here. Why they stay over there? Why they over here? Because they had permission to come over here. Who gave them permission to come over here? King James. See, King James settled this part of North America under that mandate from 1493. I just showed you the mandate lasted. It's still 1890 something. It still was in court. And the courts upheld the idea that, yeah, these niggas ain't got no right to this land. Nah, minister, but I just bought some land down in North Carolina. Like, I own 13 acres. You don't own nothing. You occupy it. You have the, what is it called? You don't have the deed. And if you do have a deed, it has to be an allodial title. You will never receive an allodial title for the land. Go ahead, bro.
Well, there's one way you can receive an allodial title, but I think a lot of our family is too spooky to do that. And this is not a plug to any political candidate, but if you Google, did Donald Trump bury his wife in the backyard?
Yep.
The answer is yes, he did. And you may think that's to down him or nothing, but or something, but that's not the case. It's called holy ground because the minister's already telling you there is no separation between church and state. That the document he showed you, he said it was a legal document and it was a religious document. So now, if you bury grandma or any of your loved ones on your property, that property automatically becomes allodial. This is considered a tax haven as well, and it will allow you that allodial status as well as tax-free status. But it has to be holy ground where the unalive are buried. I yield.
No, that's always right and exact what you just said. And what I want to show you guys is the historicity behind it, because the Intercaterra Convena or the Doctrine of Discovery already had sought the premises for it. And we didn't actually read the document, but the document it's pretty grotesque how it reads. Anybody that won't convert to Christianity, under the sword, they'll be killed. So you either get down or lay down. That was the whole attitude behind it. We don't care what you talking about. We got paperwork. Fuck your paperwork. So, and that's the same attitude they got to this day. These white people do the same thing. Well, look, man, put that receipt up your hind side because we don't care about none of that. I've seen people with paperwork and documentations and graveyards. How you think they got places like Lake Lanier in Central Park? Those are grave sites. These people don't care about that. They don't honor anything they say. They never have honored any of it. You can bury 4 or 5 bodies in your backyard. Let the government come by there and won't build a highway through that land.
Eminent domain.
You already know where I was going with it. Eminent domain. Eminent domain is the power of the government to take private property. What makes the private property? What makes the property private? Those are your paperwork, your allodial, and your this and that and paperwork. They will take it for public use. while providing fair compensation to the owner. They're going to make you 2 or 3 offers, and that's it. The Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution states that the government can only exercise its power if the property is claimed for public use and the owner is giving just compensation. They'll take it. They can establish parks if it's a prehistoric location, protecting the environment. They can make up any reason for real. Eminent domain is different from property seizure, which occurs when the government takes property after the owner commits a crime or fails to pay property tax. In a property seizure, the government does not pay the owner for the property.
Minister, they made a song about it. And forgive me, I can't sing, but do you mind if I bellow out a couple of notes?
Please, I want to know what it is.
On and on, it seems so wrong that you don't know what you got till it's gone. Tear down paradise and put up a parking lot. Can somebody tell me what's the name of that song and who's the artist? But if they tear down paradise and put up a parking lot, the parking lot is for the greater good of society, and that's the idea.
Another song that comes to mind that they came up with: this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Mount. Come on. They wrote a whole song about it. How is this your land? YT man, how is this your land? How is this your land? Well, let's take a look at it. Now, that was the Virginia area. Then we have what's called the Carolina Charter. And family, I'm just going down the coast real quick. I'm going to stop at Florida and then we're done. 1663 Carolina Charter. The 1663 composition of the 4-page marks the beginning of the organization representation, the government of the province of Carolina. Now, the charter of Carolina came under what was called, what were they called? Oh, yeah. Lords Proprietor. The Lords Proprietor were a group of 8 English noblemen who were granted land to become the Carolinas. In Georgia, by King Charles II in 1663 and 65, the Lord Proprietors were responsible for establishing, governing the colony, which named Carolina. And I can go on and on for every territory, showing you how these kings issued these charters and land grants. And what ended up happening is, I'm going to talk about this more on Sunday when I do my live dealing with the paperwork. Where's the thing at? I thought I had it up here real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, I don't have it up here. But dealing with the paperwork side of things, there it is. Southern Stocks and Bonds, Part 1. I'm gonna take a deep dive into this language because I know Moors like to talk about paperwork, allodial this and proper this and this and the third and court documents. Do you know what a trustee is, brother? Off the top of your head?
No, sir.
All right, we're gonna go over what a trustee is. A lord proprietor is a person granted a royal charter. Write down the word charter, because all these lands we're talking about called states now, they were all given charters. And if you don't believe your state has a charter, the next time you go to a courthouse, look at that seal behind the magistrate. That seal say established in 1773, established in 16 something. That's their charter. That charter seal goes on every official documentation they send out, letting them know who it is. And I talked before on the monarchy system of what's called feudalism and the idea behind feudalism. I talked before about the idea behind what a serf is. Serfs are citizens. They're bound to the manor. The manor is the territory called a state. And the governor resides over the state or the territory. And the governor issues out documentations and smaller charters to establish smaller municipalities or what's called county. And beside the county, you have a city. And the city make these rules and regulations that governs the municipality. They're called ordinances. You violated an ordinance. No, it's ordinance. Okay? These are not laws. When a city is established, it passes nothing through legislation to establish the rules and regulation. It's just a violation. And you agree under what's called presumption and assumption. You agree to those terms and conditions by being a what? A resident or residing. And once you become a resident and reside in that territory, they numerically, geographically locate you under what's called a zip code. Oh, the game is to be told not to be sold, but he must slick. But this was the beginning of it right here. In the beginning of the European colonial era, trade companies such as the East India Company, write them down, were the most common method used to settle new land. That changed after Maryland's royal grant in 1632, when King Charles I granted George Calvert, first Baron of Baltimore, proprietary rights to the area east of Potomac River in exchange for a share of the income derived there. What I just read was the king said, listen, I'm going to give you a couple 100,000 acres to set up your territory, known today as Baltimore in Maryland. Anything you grow on that land, you give me a cut of it. That's what a Lord Proprietor is. This is the Carolina, this is Baltimore, this is Virginia. Okay, come down a little further. We're going to talk about Georgia real quick. Georgia was granted under what was called a trustee or a trust, or what's called a living trust. And if somebody's the trustee is the custodian for something on behalf of the trustor. Who are the trustors? We are, you are, I am. The original indigenous inhabitants of that territory were the trustors. Okay. What's his name? James Oglethorpe became the trustee, making anything in the territory of Georgia descendable to the inhabitants. They no longer have access to it now because they're declared incompetent. How did they take Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi? How did they just take it? Oh, easy. Under the Indian Removal Act. How's that so? Once they left the land, it was declared abandoned. It was abandoned for about 3 or 4 years. Nobody was there. That's how they claimed dominion over that territory. Real easy. Kill them and kick them out. If I came to your house and kicked you out your house, and your house sat there for 7 years, and I set up shop, especially in Georgia, Georgia's got some of the strongest squatter laws you ever seen in your life. Because the beginning individuals who were here, known as runaways, the European runaways and servants, known as what would they call them? Debt slaves. See, Georgia started as a penal colony for runaway Europeans who were criminals and squatters. And James Oglethorpe wanted to create a territory that was anti-slavery. Georgia was never a slave colony in the beginning. But the point I'm making is they came in with these grants and these charters, and they came in with these pieces of paper. Look right here. It says the proprietary colony later became the most common way to settle an area with British subject. So this is the number one way that it was taking land. The land was licensed or granted to a proprietor who held expansion power. The powers were commonly written into the land charter by using Bishop Durham Clause, which recreated the powers and responsibility once given to the county palatine of Durham. The clause gave the Lord Proprietor the power to create courts and laws, establish governing bodies in churches, and appoint all governing officials. Bet you didn't know that. Why are you trying to run around here and do this paper piracy? Being a goddamn paper terrorist. This shit's already locked, bro. It's locked since 1632. It's locked. So there's nothing you can come on TikTok and find out about no paperwork. Submit this, Put your little bloody thumbprint on it. Then, bro, this shit is under a whole other realm of information. Okay. Let's look up trustee colony. Pop up Georgia. What did the trustee colony do? It was the trustee colony Georgia charter. You're going to keep saying the word charter. You're going to keep saying trustee. You're going to keep saying these pieces of documentation that y'all ain't paying a hill of beans to, and you can't outdo a charter. That's why they were giving the Native Americans what was called treaties. See, when something is chartered, there's a governing body that dictates and maintains that charter. The Masonic order has a charter. The Alphas have a charter. The Omegas have a charter. The AKAs have a charter. The Knights of Pythian have a charter. Knights of Columbus have a charter, and so on and so forth. FOP has a charter. Where y'all charter at? America has a charter. It's called the Constitution. Constitutional rights. The Constitution don't give you no rights. The Constitution is a contract charter to remind these jokers of the structure of government they got over here. That's all a charter does. That's why in the Moorish Science Temple, Moors, it says the Grand Sheik has the right to do what? Create law and enforce law by way of what? A charter. What are the five? Is it 5 or 6? The 5 or 6 points of the Moorish charter. Come on, Moors. Talk to me. Don't get quiet now. The Masons got a charter they go by. The education system got a charter. These charters are worth their weight in gold. Magna Carta. Thank you for bringing it up, because we'll hit the Magna Carta too. So Georgia was under a charter. They would be responsible for managing Georgia for the next 21 years. The word trustee refers to someone placed in official position of a trust to act on the behalf of someone else. That's what a trustee is. And the person behalf they're acting on is known as a trustor. So anybody that's listening had a question, how they take the land, I'm showing you. I showed you what it started with. It started with the Intercatera Convener, a Doctrine of Discovery, Dem Versi, the Magna Carta. We'll cover that in a minute. What's the difference between a royal colony and a trustee colony? Trustee had 3 laws. No governs, slavery was illegal. And there was more freedom. In a royal period, there was no laws for the people, and the people believed in the concept of slavery. So we talk about slave states and free states. We're talking about trustee colonies versus royal colonies. But you'll never know that because it's not taught that way. Why wasn't slavery allowed or banned in a trustee colony? They banned slavery in Georgia because it was inconsistent with their social and economical intentions. Given the Spanish presence in Florida, slavery also seemed a certain to threaten the military security of the colony. Slavery in Georgia was never a slave state. Later, it perverted to a slave state once it became a royal colony. But in its beginning, it was never a slave state. Nothing to do with black folks. I know in your psycho Negrosis mind, you're thinking, oh, it wasn't a slave state. I'm not talking about for so-called Negroes. It was deemed illegal because you had so many YT slaves down there. Several of them were down there in Georgia. There were squatters. They were declared squatters. Now later, show you something else real quick. Bro, you want to tap in, please feel free to do so. Later, this happened in the 1800s, 1830. This was known as the Indian Removal Act. Of course, Andrew Jackson had a lot to do with this. He was declared a hero after the War of 1812. 1830, the law, it was a law. I don't think motherfuckers be reading. When you see the word law or legislation, That means everybody was on board. That means all three forms of government was on board: the judicial, the executor, and the legislation. Those are the three forms of government. When you see the word law, it was a law. It was a law. It was a law. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 was a law that allowed the President of the United States to force Native Americans to give up their homeland. Uh-oh. That's how they got all that territory. This is eminent domain. This is eminent domain. I just read you the definition of eminent domain. Now you know that the Indian Removal Act comes under what's called eminent domain. Wow. All those people living on the land, they made them get off. Your grandma and granddaddy have been living in that house for 98 years. And they came and took it. Well, hell, you ain't got to take it these days. These Negroes will sell that shit for a couple $100. You ain't got to take it. You ain't got to take it. If you got land in your family or territory in your family, the government come offer you a couple million, you take it. Stop saying you won't. You'll take it. Now, what I found crazy about this, bro, was I was reading this 1830. They forced Native Americans to give up their homeland in the eastern United States and relocate to Indian Territory out of Oklahoma. Right here it says the Indian Removal Act was signed into law by President Andrew Jackson, May 28, 1830, authorizing the president to grant lands west of Mississippi in exchange for Indian lands within the existing states' borders. That was Georgia, that was Carolina, that was Alabama, Mississippi, and parts of Florida. That was the land. So I asked myself, were these Indians? Were these actual Indians? Because in the cartoon sketch, they show you Indians. I call them teepee Indians. They show you teepee Indians. And that's no slight. It's not to condone hatred. A teepee Indian is a nomadic person who lived out west. But they show you the teepee Indians for whatever reason. And at first glance, nothing to see here. Ain't shit to see here at first glance. But upon further research, I found something real interesting. And here's the map, by the way, family. This is the map. They pushed them off the southeast region right here. And I say it again. I continue to say it. This is part of the reason that your grandma them in Chicago and Ohio got relatives down here in the South. That was the first Great Migration. Second Great Migration, 1920, third one in 1960. So this territory, the southeast region, now in the state of Georgia. Well, let's go to Virginia. In the territory of Virginia, you have the Wampanoag, you have the Pamunkey, the Natchez. Carolina, you have the Natchez, the Gull, who they call Geechee Gullah. And I found something interesting about the Geechee Gullah too. The Geechee Gullah are not indigenous to North America. I don't care. Let me pause this music because somebody can get their feelings in a second. The Geechee Gullah or the Gull tribes are not indigenous inhabitants of North America. They are from Africa. Now they've been here since 1563. There's proof of that. Guadalupe was the first colony in 1563 by Spain. They brought 100 or so Africans from Africa off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. They, fortunately for them, it was the first erection, slave revolt. And those Africans remained in the South Carolina, Georgia Sea Islands, and they amalgamated with the natives. So the Geechee Gullah are not indigenous to North America. Blew my mind when I saw it. So anyway, this territory right here, southeast region. Now we got Georgia. You got the Yamacraw. You got the Yamansi. You got the Crow. You got the Blackfoot. You got the Coweta. You got the Cimarron or the Seminoles. You got the Miamians. You got the Maroons. You got the Wichita, the Muskegee Creek Nation, so on and so forth. All those individuals were pushed off. My question was, were these black folks or were these really Indians? Like TP Indians? That was my question. If they got removed off the territory, if you keep reading history, they were invited back to the territory. Watch this. Crazy. Now, 35 years later, in 65, let's read this. January 1865, Union General William T. Sherman issued Special Field Order Number 15, which redistributed land to the newly freed black families. The order confiscated land from Charleston, South Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, included the Sea Islands of Georgia and 30 miles of the mainland. The land was redistributed by 40-acre sections. Approximately 18,000 Indian, black, colored folk families came back, but the number of families were estimated to be closer to 40,000 within 6 months. This order led to the slogan, 40 acres and a mule. They were invited back. Now, when they left, they were Indians. When they got invited back, they were black. That messed me up. I said, oh, crap. Those were black people who got put off the land. 40 acres and a mule. And this is part of the conversation. Make sure you're keeping up with the conversation in California, bro. Dealing with, what do you call it? They're dealing with the reparation situation in California right now. In real news, a lot of people are asking, where is my 40 acres and the mule at that we were promised? Shouts to the chat. Anybody in the chat, parents or grandparents, received that 40 acres? Anybody? Oh, no, I never seen that, bro. Oh, never heard of it either. Uh-oh. Ice Walk, you got your 40, your people got 40 acres. You mind sharing with us what territory? Oh, you already got it. You're already on it. So see what I'm saying? It was a real thing. Now, unfortunately, those 40 acres that was received by those 40,000 Indian or Negro Indian families, that decision was overturned by President Andrew Johnson. It was overturned by President Andrew Johnson. That's called Special Field Order Number 15. Andrew Johnson overturned that decision, and he gave the land back to white slave owners. And that's a fact. Once the white slave owners, what's it right here? It says right here, sorry. In the end, the order had little concrete effort because President Andrew Johnson, not Andrew Jackson, he was the one that did the Indian Removal Act. This is another Andrew. Andrew Johnson issued the proclamation that returned the lands to Southern owners who took a loyal oath. Johnson granted amnesty to most former Confederates and allowed the rebel states to elect new governments. These governments, which often included ex-Confederate officials, soon enacted black codes, measures designated to control, repress the recently freed slave population. General Saxon and his staff at Charleston, South Carolina, Freedmen's Bureau office refused to carry out president's wishes and denied all applications to have the land returned. In the end, Johnson and his allies removed General Saxon and his staff, but not before Congress was able to provide legislation to assist the families to keep their land. Although mules are not mentioned in the order, there were a main source of expression, 40 acres and a mule. Historical markers commemorate the order was erected by Georgia Historical Society in Savannah near the corner of Harris and Bull Street in Madison Square. So you're not going to see it. It got returned back to the white folk. You got anything to add, bro? So again, people, this is just me tapping in today. Get ready for Sunday. Sunday, we're gonna go in depth. Sunday gonna be about a 3.5 hour class. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. So I need all my disciples to check in, all the master students to check in. Also, just be ready to learn, y'all. Be ready to learn. You know I can get on here and get long-winded, but I promise you, it's so much information that will kill some of the questions that we have. There's a lot of questions we have. I think we have more questions than information at this point. That's just what I believe. We're going to deal with stocks and bonds. It says part 2, but it's a 2-part series. Part 1 on Sunday. Yesterday was lit before I got clipped and cut off by the internet. I'm not sure if they be, it's like some shit, bro. They'll cut me off. They'll cut the whole, like the internet just cut off. Yesterday was pretty dope. Thank y'all for tapping in with me yesterday. I didn't really get a chance to finish everything, but y'all got the point of the psyops of Hollywood. We also going to tap into the Southern horror story, dealing with YT Power, and I already did the one dealing with the Yamacraw, the Black Indigenous individuals out of Savannah, Georgia. Thank y'all for tapping in with your boy today. Crumb, I appreciate you, bro, for taking time to hop on here as well. Again, I want to give a quick shout out to the beat maker. If you have any beats, they have to be your own beats, though. There need to be some authentic beats, need to be your own beats. Don't come sending us that nobody else done created and made. Send your beats over to MOI podcast gmail.com. Once I check out the beat, I'll send you a form. It's a $10 fee per beat. We'll be sure to scream and play your beats and sounds throughout the live. When I go live, Brother Crumb go live, those sounds will be provided in the background for some soothing music. And it really helps for you. It's my opinion. I think it really helps for people to pay attention when you got some music playing. When you just on and on talking for 20, 30 hours, where it can get a little bit mundane to hear the same voice over and over. So those beats, in my opinion, really help to facilitate, make the sound go a little bit quicker. Shouts out to the paper and pen gang. Everybody that's been supporting the movement since I've been saying this shit. I've been saying it for years. Pen and paper gang. Remember, you can definitely check out the apparel. I appreciate you. Shoot me an email to the moipodcast.com. I'll shoot you over the link. And you can grab you a hoodie or grab you a sweater or grab you a hat. I got some, what do you call them? Stocking caps and other apparel coming soon to the website. This will be up on my YouTube page a little bit later today. So definitely don't forget to support. And yeah. Any last words, brother?
Yeah. Today is 9/11, September 11th. I don't know what anniversary it is of the towers, which was, I think that was 2001. This is 2024. So it's been more than about 23 years, if I'm doing the math right. Later this evening, I'm going to be doing a review on that. I'm just going to react to this video from 15 years ago. I'm in Raw Productions. This girl tore it down, super monotone, but she really put a nail in the coffin. So we'll watch that tonight and talk some ish about that. So tap in. That's probably going to be around 7 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in that area. So make sure to keep an eye out for the notifications. Thank you again, Minister.
Well, y'all, as always, shit has been real in the field with your boy M.O.I. and the host with the most, master student, Brother Crom. Peace and light, y'all. Be sure to tap in with us next time we go live. Brother Crom going live later today. We appreciate y'all.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man?